The 2020 Motorola Razr is the coolest phone we've seen in years. At $1,500, it's also one of the most expensive. The Razr experience starts with a really cool box. It's actually a stand, displaying the folded open phone like a futuristic monolith. It isn't a charging stand though, as there's no way to route a power cable through the bottom. Take the phone out, and it feels heavy, solid, and beautiful, weighing 7.2 ounces and measuring 2.83 inches wide, just barely the maximum width to be comfortable in most hands. The back also has a nice texture to it. It is completely possible to flip it open with one hand, levering your thumb in between the two halves, giving it a good shove, opening it up, and then slamming it closed with a satisfying slap. Open it up, and there's a 2142 by 876 folding AMOLED screen. When it's flat, the screen has no easily visible seam like the Samsung Galaxy Fold does. It's also much easier to type on than the unfolded Fold, as this phone is the width of a normal phone. It's properly balanced toward the bottom so it doesn't flip up and out of your hands. The 6.2-inch screen is an unusually tall 21:9 aspect ratio, so Motorola provides an option to crop and zoom videos to fill the whole screen. On the outside, there's a 2.7-inch 800x600 color external screen. It shows time, date, and battery life. It also works as a music controller, photo viewfinder, and displays notifications. When the phone is closed, you can control it with Google Assistant. There's no headphone jack, but the phone comes with both a dongle and a premium set of USB-C earbuds. Motorola says the phone is splash resistant, but not waterproof. The screen and hinge didn't show any damage after flipping it open 1,000 times, but after 200 flips, the phone now makes a loud creaking noise when it's opened or closed. With a Qualcomm Snapdragon 710 processor, the Razr's performance lands in between Moto's $250 G7 Power and flagship phones like the $800 Google Pixel 4. Playing Asphalt 8, you can feel the lower frame rate and slightly gummy controls compared with other flagship devices. The phone runs Android 9 with Motorola's usual convenient extensions. Twist it to launch the camera, or make a chopping motion to launch the flashlight. Verizon, unfortunately, adds a bit of bloatware, including Candy Crush and some other low-quality games, which are thankfully uninstallable. The Razr has 128 gigabytes of built-in storage, but there's no memory card slot. For a phone with a 6.2-inch screen, the Razr has a relatively small 2,510 milliamp battery. We got just 6 hours and 54 minutes of video playback time on a charge, which is much shorter than other leading Android phones. Wi-Fi performance is disappointing as well. Speeds were slower on the Razr than the Pixel 4 at every point we tested, with the phone dropping signal a mere 50 feet from the router. The 4G Razr has a limited set of LTE bands, designed to work only on Verizon in the US. Compared with the Pixel, we saw consistently worse signal on the Razr. The phone is a Verizon exclusive and uses an eSIM rather than a physical SIM, so you can't replace the SIM even if you want to. On the plus side, the phone's earpiece is clear, and the device supports EVS, the highest quality voice system Verizon has to offer. The earpiece doesn't get that loud, but it's good enough. The bottom of the phone makes for a solid audio chamber, giving the speakerphone considerable oomph, whether the phone is open or closed. The phone also supports Bluetooth 5.0, and Bluetooth audio was clear in testing. The Razr has two cameras, a main 16-megapixel f1.7 shooter, and a 5-megapixel front-facing camera inside the flip. Neither have optical image stabilization, and compared with industry leaders like the Pixel 4 and the Galaxy S10, the main camera is not good. Photos taken with the Razr look soft and indistinct. There are more pixels than on the Pixel 4, but the Razr's images look like blown-up lower-res versions of the same shots taken with the Pixel 4 or iPhone 11. As the light goes down, the Razr's performance declines further, with photos getting dim and noisy. Some of the Razr's flaws can be cured by firmware updates, to be sure. Those camera issues, for instance, might be software. The same goes for the unreliable Wi-Fi. But to get it so thin and for it to be able to work without overheating, Motorola made too many compromises on performance. Everything here is substandard to the design, resulting in a phone that looks and feels like a $1,500 statement piece, but sure doesn't perform like one.